Ladies, we have Hayley here, and Hayley has just completed her 28-day challenge with Woman Strong. So, Hayley, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah.
Good. Right. Okay. So we've got a few questions here, and Hayley's going to share her experience with us on our 28-day challenge. So, where were you before the challenge with your health?
If I'm honest, I was in like a really bad place.
Okay.
In December, I'd ended up in hospital, like with anxiety issues and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd been signed off work. I was really in a negative place. Like I'd put on loads of weight while I'd been off work and stuff. And yeah, I just sort of hit rock bottom. Like I didn't exercise. Like I couldn't. Yeah, I was very unhealthy, very
Yeah.
unfit, and
Okay.
in a very, very negative headspace.
Okay. And where were you before the challenge with your weight? So, where were you with that?
Well, my weight was just appalling. If I'm honest, I didn't have a scale in my house, because I knew I was so overweight. I was weighing myself every day and
Yeah.
getting like really, really down on myself. So my husband got rid of my scales, so I couldn't weigh myself because
Yeah.
obviously it was just sort of more negatively impacting me more and more. I didn't have a mirror, like a full
Yeah.
length mirror in my house. So yeah, my weight was appalling.
Okay.
So yeah.
And what about before the challenge? How was your energy?
I didn't have an A.
Okay.
Absolutely didn't have an A.
Struggled.
I
Yeah.
was just knackered from the smallest thing. Like I say, I was at home all the time, but I was just sleeping. It was
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah. Okay. What about your mindset and your happiness before the challenge?
Yeah, again, it honestly was ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
I've got 3 kids at home, and it should be a fun time, and it was so hard. Like Christmas was really difficult for me this year. Like we went to my mum's because my mum cooked and stuff, and it was just hard having to put like on a false smile and
Yeah.
pretend like everything was okay, and then come home. And my husband works like night shifts and stuff, so he worked over Christmas as well, which I
Yeah.
think obviously impacted me as well. But because I come home, we'd done whatever, and he went to work, the kids were in bed, and I just sat and cried for like
I know. Yeah.
awful. Yeah. It was just one
Yeah.
of those, like obviously, yeah. And when I look back now, it's like bloody hell. But obviously
Yeah.
at the time it was
Yeah. Of
just,
course. You get
I
into
just couldn't. Yeah.
just get into this zone, don't you? And
Yeah.
you're worrying about everyone else, Hayley, aren't you?
Yeah.
We've got to start focusing on you, which you've done, which
Yes,
is awesome.
definitely.
Okay. So, what changes have you noticed with your health, your weight, your body fat, your energy, your happiness, and mindset? So,
So
what have you
for
changed?
me, like the first one has definitely been my mindset, which
Okay.
has impacted like my happiness and my outlook on life, but definitely my mindset. And obviously just spoken to Danny this morning, and for me, like the Tuesday, the Monday and Wednesday calls have been really impactful for
Yeah.
me, just with like the positive affirmation stuff. And like last night itself has had an impact on me this morning, because I'm thinking,
Amazing.
oh, what have I done? Like, what have I done this morning? And
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And like I'm getting up in the morning, so obviously I've gone back to work, but it's just
Yeah.
obviously at the moment we work 2 weeks from home, then we're furloughed for 2 weeks, and I've gone back. So I'm only working 2 days this week, and then 3 next week, and then obviously I'll gradually go back up to my 5.
Yeah.
But I've sort of I want to get into that routine that I am working out before I go to work.
Yeah.
So like every day this morning when the kids have gone back to school, I've made sure I've got up and I've worked out in the morning. So then I've still got all day to do
Amazing.
whatever I've got to do. Like, so when I go back to my shop, like I'm in my shop from 8:30 till 6.
Yeah.
So it just means that I've got that there. So it's definitely like the exercising has definitely had a positive impact on my life. The calls have been really, really good for me.
Amazing.
I now have a mirror that I will look at. I have
Oh, that's awesome, Hayley. That's so
scales.
amazing to hear.
I have scales that I only weigh in on a Monday.
Yes.
But I just obviously spoke, like I said, I spoke to Danny on Monday. I didn't lose any weight last week, and I was a bit upset in the morning because
Yeah.
obviously I'd lost like three and a bit kilos the first week,
Yeah.
and then second week I lost like 1 and a bit, so I've
Yeah.
total 5 altogether. But obviously I had COVID, and it sort of
Yeah.
threw me off my
Yeah.
exercising and stuff, and that was really difficult, and that again impacted my mental health and stuff.
Yeah.
But I still tried to make sure I made the calls and things, and
Yeah.
um, then this week I didn't lose any weight. I was a
Yeah.
bit gutted. I was a bit like, oh, like,
Yeah.
and I thought, so I took a step back and I was like, hang on a second. And I took my measurements, and, because that for me was really important. Like I hadn't lost any weight, but I just sort of wanted to maintain my mindset and be like, no, like you
Cool.
might not have done that, but you've done that.
Yeah.
And I've lost 26 inches overall in
Yep.
like the 3 weeks. So I know we still got a couple of days left.
Yeah.
So I've lost 26 inches. You know, and I've seen differences in my clothes, like
Yep.
all those gym clothes, that picture of those gym clothes they all
Yep.
sent. Well, hardly any of them fit me now. And that's so obviously when I'm training, they're sort of like I'm constantly pulling them up at the
I know.
waist and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's been positive, do you know what I mean? So I might not have lost weight this week.
Yeah.
And
So
we're
what
at
did
one
you lose in
point.
total, Hayley?
I've lost 5 kilos.
Amazing.
It's 11 pounds, which is a
Oh,
massive amount.
11 pounds in, oh, like you said, we're just coming towards to the end of our 28 days.
Yeah, and you know,
And you did have challenges, and obviously, like you said, so when you're talking about the Monday and the Wednesday, we do coaching, obviously, the ladies that are watching on a Monday and Wednesday night where we do training and coaching. And you being there, and you're always there, which is great. It's making you stronger to take on them challenges. You know, it's so important. And, you know, we're going to have challenges that will arise, but you know, getting yourself in a strong place, which you're doing.
yeah.
And that's an awesome result. You should be I'm super happy.
Well, honestly, like I'm sure I said this obviously on the first call that we had and I was looking at joining, and
Yeah.
my weight, it's not obviously my weight's heavy, it is what it is, like because of my body and stuff. But my shape and the way I look at myself is more important. Like that's the most important thing. And having those calls has definitely changed the way that I look at myself. But those measurements for me were the big thing, because eventually the inches are going to start going, so the weight has to go. If I'm getting a better shape, like more tone, more muscular, the weight's going to go. And I might not have lost anything this week, but that doesn't mean that I've not lost fat and gained muscle. Like,
of course, exactly.
and sort of, you know, 4 or 5 weeks ago, I would never ever have thought like that.
Exactly.
But at the minute, it's like, no, give yourself a break. Like,
you're thinking differently. That's what it's all about.
It's
That's
the
what
mindset thing. It's been
helps you
ridiculous.
think differently. And you know, it's about getting out of that headspace and you putting yourself in a good headspace, which is awesome. And I can see it on your face, Hayley. You look great. You know, as in your mindset and everything, you just look really, really good, which is good. Okay, so what do you still want to achieve with your health? Where are we going from here now?
So for me, my big thing is to be medication free, and just sort of maintain my like mental health through like through my exercising and like what I'm doing. I could take a lot of tablets. Like I have like 3 different types of tablets I have to do. I'm under the mental health hospital. You know, so I have quite sort of like a lot of bits and pieces going on. And for me, I would love to not be dependent on happy pills. Like, do you know what I mean? I would like, I want to show that my children that even though I have been at this point, you can grow, and it doesn't matter how long it takes. Like to stop taking those. I want to stop taking those, and if I need to carry on for longer than I want, then again, it's not a negative thing. It's one of those things. But that's my ultimate goal is to be medication free. Other than that, I just want to be healthy. And like my goal was obviously this year, it's probably not going to happen with everything that's still going on, but I wanted to do a jiu-jitsu competition. Like that's like a big thing for me. So I'd say I wanted to do before I was 35, a bodybuilding challenge, like a bodybuilder challenge, and a jiu-jitsu. Obviously it's been a little bit hit and miss, so obviously the gym's not been open very much and stuff, but I'm not 35 till July next year, so I've still got a little bit of time to
Let's do this.
they're my goals, like that for me.
Definitely, that's awesome.
As long as I'm still exercising and stuff like that, and I'm happy, then it is what it is. Like on my scales, it's give me an age that I'm at. I need to change that. Like that needs to go. But that's appalling. It's like it's older than my nan, so I'm like, no, started. Like, get you ready for the game. But again, it's sort of for me, like my health sort of factors around my mental health. So if that's positive, then if everything else will fall, like is falling into place slowly. So I just want to be able to see my grandkids and my great grandkids, hopefully. Like my nan's still alive, and obviously she's got me and she's got my kids. Like I want to be that. I want to have my kids, their kids, and you know, maybe even lucky enough to have theirs. Like that's for me is like the ultimate goal.
Amazing. And the amazing news, you decided to stay with us. and continue your journey. So Hayley is obviously done the 28 days, and now you're going to be going into the VIP program. So that is where the magic happens. Anything else, Hayley, you wanted to share with us?
Just a thank you, if I'm honest, like genuinely from the bottom of my heart. When I saw the advert on Facebook, I was a little bit dubious. Like, obviously, I was off sick. I was really in a negative place, and I was just a bit like, oh, it's 28 days. What's the worst that can happen, sort of thing. Like, I couldn't physically get mentally, physically any lower than where I was at. And it's been a massive transformation, and honestly I have enjoyed it. Like, there's no pressure, and I think that's what's been nice. Like, obviously you give the workouts and they're there to do. We have the calls, we have the check-in on a Friday. It's all just so supportive, relaxed, but like, it's nice because there's no pressure and stuff. And honestly, it sounds really daft, I know, but you and Danny have made like a massive impact on my life. And
amazing to hear. Thank you, Hayley.
Yeah, definitely. It's been good, and I'm looking forward to the next 28 days.
Let's do this. So massive well done with your, getting your head right, getting your head better, your weight loss goals, and let's bring on the next, the next journey for you. And I'm super excited for you, Hayley. And thank you very much for sharing your experience on 28 Day Challenge.
No problem.
I'll speak to you later.
See you later.
Thanks for Hayley. All right, bye, darling. Bye.